Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video, and let's talk a little bit about the Tornado and the A6 actually also, and a little bit of a confirmation that BVVD, the Vyacheslav, I think his name is, or something like that, said on the Russian stream that apparently they do have plans for adding anti-ship or anti-radiation missiles. So not in this patch, obviously. I think it's just it's so much stuff that is being added that I don't think it's even physically possible that they add more stuff. I mean, there are some couple of stuff coming up, more stuff coming up, but still more in the sense of outside the things that are kind of already promised, right? So yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. So apparently it is confirmed that they are working on it, and it has a basically a plan of adding it to the game, which would make these type of aircraft, especially aircraft such as this, the Tornado, the A6, even the MiG-27, even the A4, it can receive some anti-radiation missiles. And I already did videos talking a little bit about it, even that how important it would be, especially for air-to-ground, in the sense of the anti-radiation. But if missiles such as anti-ship missiles come, it will be less important to the game, but still it will be very, very fun to have it. I think it's not very usable, but it's still something that it needs to be added. Just like napalm is kind of useless against normal ground battles, right? In ground battles in tanks. But it's still fun to have it, and it is still a very cool feature to have nonetheless, right? So the anti-ship will be the same thing, even though we don't have too many ships or anything like that. Probably would be used mostly for simulator, to be honest, because there you can have some maps that have a lot of ships. But beyond that, it's probably going to be a little bit useless if they add it, but still it's fun to have it. In the anti-radiation missiles, it's a whole nother story. Because especially the anti-radiation missiles can be used, as I said, on the ground battles, right? So yeah, we are getting to some pretty nasty AA systems sometimes, especially in squadron battles. If you realize that in top tier, it's really hard sometimes to get close to the airfield, to the battle, just due to the fact of how many AA systems and how effective the AA systems are in top tier, right? So these type of missiles would help a lot on getting onto these type of situations, right, and be alive with them. Of course, it will be kind of a, there will be a kind of a gameplay kind of thing happening there, because most of these early missiles, especially like the Shrike, for example, or missiles like that, they don't have too much, capabilities. So, for example, if the radar just turns the antenna off after the missile is launched, the missile will just go ballistic, right? Of course, more advanced missiles, such as, for example, the Tornado can carry, can have memories and inertial navigation systems that can actually track where kind of the AA system was. But even there, I mean, if the AA moves like 5 meters, it's done. It's already... the missile will miss. So it's not completely OP, and it's not completely useless as well. It can be used for people that are not paying attention too much for the radar, radar of its AA, right? And seeing the aircraft that it's flying, etc. But also a skilled player can defect any of these missiles, just turning off the radar and moving the tank a little bit, right? So it's not OP. I don't think it's going to be OP. And I really think it should be added just for the fact of, for the feature, it needs to be something, the game itself needs to be very complete, in the most complete way possible. So, for example, now we are having some minor things like helmet-mounted display on the MiG-29 and etc., right? We have some other systems like the HUDs and other stuff like that. It's minor things that in the end of the day doesn't change the fact on how the game plays. And if we didn't have that, the game would still be fun to play. But if we having that kind of thing makes the game a little bit more fun to play, doesn't it? So yeah, even if it's kind of useless, I think it should be coming. That goes the same for some of other ammunitions, for example, anti-runway ammunitions, anti-cluster ammunitions, stuff like that can be added, and it should be added, not because it has a purpose, a specific purpose that it's going to be meta for some reason, but just the fact that it needs to be there, right? For example, anti-runway ammunitions, it's not going to be the most amazing thing ever, but first of all, it will be usable, very usable, especially in the simulator battles. So it will be a very specific kind of weapon, for example, and with that you can have also kind of a realistic kind of thing there, because think about it, anti-runway munitions, they're not usually used widely, right, in a combat scenario. I mean, they are going to be used for that only sole purpose, right? And there's not like that many runways to be destroyed, so it's kind of realistic even for that, right? And all the cluster munitions and all the other things, they will have a specific use, just like napalm has, but it won't be like completely meta, and it doesn't matter because it's fun, right? It is really fun. So yeah, and another thing, as I said, the missiles itself, they're not the greatest thing ever. Even if they add just the Shrikes, for example, or some old missiles like that, the KH-25P or MP or something like that, which is the KH-25 for the Soviets that was anti-radiation. These missiles, man, they have a very short range. Normally the same range as the other missiles. For example, the KH-25 that has the KH-25 that has the anti-radiation head, it has the same range as the normal KH-25s. It will have the same range as the KH-25L or M or whatever, right? And the Shrike is the same. I mean, I think it's based on the Sparrow, but the range is like, the initial ones are like 4 kilometers, 3 kilometers. So they can add, starting with that, and improve from that. We even have the leak that a Tornado GR1B is coming as a naval, you know, Tornado for the event. We didn't have the confirmation yet, but if we do, it will be fun. That it's going to be something that already kind of confirms that they are planning to do this type of thing, right? So very, very cool. I think it's something that it's worth to get in the game, and I think even if it doesn't have the most amount of playability, or it's not going to be that meta or something like that, it's just worth it just to the fact that it is in the game and it's something realistic to have in that specific aircraft, for example. And yeah, but very, very cool. It will be very fun if they add that. And another thing, I mean, come on, look at the way that I'm going to die just because this aircraft doesn't have chaff or flares, or the 2 times in a row, right? I cannot do anything, but yeah. I see you guys on the next one. Bye.